Dr. Nardi here. Today, we will talk about how to master the art of interpersonal communication. Have you ever said something totally harmless only to have someone completely misinterpret it? Perhaps you have wondered if there is a secret to knowing when someone is lying to you. Welcome to the breakdown of interpersonal communication, where we explore how we talk, how we listen, and the hidden messages our bodies send without us even realizing it. Interpersonal communication is an interactional process where one person sends a message to another. This process is a loop where we send and receive information simultaneously. It involves a sender, a receiver, the message, the channel it is sent through, the context, and noise. Noise is any stimulus that interferes with accurately understanding a message, which includes environmental interference, physiological limits, psychological filters, or contextual history. Today, the channel is often a screen. Face-to-face communication relies heavily on spoken words and rich nonverbal cues. But electronically mediated communication is often stripped of tone, gesture, and nuance. This makes it much easier to miscommunicate, which is why emojis were invented to help express our emotional states. We often use NetLingo acronyms to facilitate quick exchanges where efficiency wins and nuance loses. Research also shows that we share photos and updates not just for vanity, but for relationship maintenance and bonding with our social network. However, many people fall into a privacy paradox where they assume their own online privacy is safe while believing others are at risk, which is known as a comparative optimistic bias. Nonverbal communication conveys emotions and is multi-channeled, meaning you send messages through your posture, facial expressions, and tone of voice all at once. It can be ambiguous and sometimes contradicts what you say out loud. The study of how we use interpersonal space is called proxemics. We carry around an invisible bubble of personal space that acts as a zone belonging to us, changing based on our culture, status, and the situation. Anthropologist Edward Hall identified 4 distance zones, which are intimate, personal, social, and public. When it comes to the face, researchers Paul Ekman and Wallace Friesen identified 6 basic emotions that are universally recognized across cultures, which are anger, disgust, fear, happiness, sadness, and surprise. However, cultural display rules dictate how we show these feelings. For example, sticking out your tongue is considered rude in the United States, but is a greeting in Tibet. Using body language to tell if someone is lying is remarkably difficult. Experts like police investigators and psychiatrists are often barely better than chance at catching liars with accuracy rates around 57%. Contrary to popular belief, liars do not necessarily break eye contact, shift their posture more, or talk slower. Instead, deception clues leak through subtle channels like a higher vocal pitch, blinking less during the lie, or rapid saccadic eye movements. Eye contact itself conveys intensity and interest. Couples who are in love spend more time gazing at each other, while in some cultures like Japan or Africa, direct eye contact can be perceived as an insult. To become a better communicator, you should master active listening. Listening is a mindful activity that is entirely different from hearing, which is just a physiological process. Active listening involves signaling your interest non-verbally, hearing the person out completely before responding, and using paraphrasing to state concisely what you believe the speaker said. You should also avoid major communication barriers like pseudo-listening, where you pretend to listen but are actually daydreaming, or ambushing, where you listen only to attack the speaker. Conflict is unavoidable and exists whenever 2 or more people disagree. It is not inherently bad, but depends on how you handle it. People typically use one of 5 styles to manage conflict, which are avoiding, accommodating, competing, compromising, and collaborating. Collaborating is the most mature and productive approach because it treats conflict as a mutual problem to be solved cooperatively. The best way to collaborate is by being assertive. Assertiveness means acting in your own best interests and expressing your feelings honestly without ignoring the rights of others. It sits perfectly between being completely submissive and being overly aggressive. Practicing these communication skills is the key to better relationships and less stress because they are strong predictors of life satisfaction.